Hello and welcome to the first installment of the Forex course, the advanced training. However you want to apply this knowledge that you're going to gain in here is up to you. Everything that I'm going to teach can be used for both Forex, commodities, and indices. It can be used in tandem with Sean's teaching and Sean's methods. It can be used separately on its own if you're trading Forex. But the purpose of this video series and this course is to give every trader an understanding of how simple trading can be and how you don't need a suite of 15 indicators and have your screen look like a Skittles packet. Or you don't need to pay $300 a month to have customized charts with fancy bars, fancy candlesticks, and an indicator set that sits over it. And all of that starts with understanding market sentiment. And what do I mean by market sentiment? I can't tell you how many traders will come to me and say, hey, I took a trade off of the 5-minute chart and that level didn't hold. I lost it. How come I lost it? So let's say that they were looking to go short right here and price just blew right through it. Okay, they're looking really short term. And if you don't take the time, they show me their chart and they literally had a day's worth of data on there. They hadn't taken the time to zoom out, even on the 5-minute chart. We'll get back to this example in a minute, but even on the 5-minute chart, they hadn't taken the time to zoom out, take a bird's eye view, and understand market sentiment. So if I take that drawing off, what do I mean by understanding market sentiment? Well, the market is great in the sense that it's very binary, meaning that it can move in one of 3 directions. It can move up, it can move down, and it can move sideways. And the beautiful thing about it is, it's not shameful in showing you what it wants to do. Too many people are trying to use what the market's giving you as clues to try and predict where it wants to go next. Why do that? Why not take advantage of the fact that it's showing you exactly what it wants to do, what it's in the process of doing, and just ride it? Just leverage what it's showing you and utilize it. And if and when it does change its mind, there are ways to visualize and capitalize on that as well. And this course will teach you how to do that. But for the time being, we're just going to walk through understanding market sentiment. We're going to take a look at a few examples on just this one chart of uptrends, downtrends, consolidation. So the first thing that I want to look at is probably what you all are noticing, is that little area right there. That's for me front and center on my screen. There are one of 2 things you could have been noticing, that or that. So I talked about the market moving in 3 directions: upwards, downwards, and sideways. Here we've got a pretty clear movement down. Here we've got a pretty clear movement up. In between that, we've got a move to the side. So it's just ranging. What's more is that in this consolidation period, and we're going to get into exactly how to trade and understand this, but it's consolidating, but it's also squeezing. So you've got trend line down, we've got a trend line up, and the overall direction is sideways. Excuse me. So this is a larger time frame chart, and it's telling you everything you need to know to make, let's see, out of here I'm just going to mark off areas that I would trade. So just out of that uptrend, and you know what, I'm going to take one of those away. Let's get rid of that one. In that uptrend, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. 8 trades just in that one uptrend. Excuse me again. Here, this is a beautiful thing. This is a great thing. I've got 9 trades just in that short span. So you get the picture. When the market tells you what it wants to do, and it shows you exactly what it's doing, there's no need to try and outsmart it. Just take advantage of what's in front of you. If we go to the daily, we've got up, we've got up, we've got a top to that up, we've got down, we've got a gradual up, and recently we've got sideways. So we've got a pretty clear direction from the market at all times. We just have to step back and notice. 4 hour, the same thing. Now it starts to get a little bit more granular. What I tell people is, if you can't trade the 4 hour chart, if you can't accurately look at the 4 hour chart, the movements are much bigger, but they're much clearer. So if you can't accurately look at a 4 hour chart and interpret market sentiment, you're going to have a very hard time on the lower time frames in intraday trading. So for me, intraday trading starts on the 4 hour chart. Let's go through and identify market sentiment in a couple areas. Here, uptrend, but it's also got a bit of a range. Downtrend, longer term uptrend, but more gradual, and also carrying a bit of a range. Sideways. So again, we can see market sentiment pretty clearly just by taking a step back. So let's go to that trade that I originally started with as an example. So even on the 5-minute chart, it's pretty clear to see market sentiment. We've got up, we've got sideways, we've got up, and if we take a step out, we can get a sense for why this really took off the way it did. So we've got a much longer uptrend. So the market sentiment on the 5-minute chart over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days is up. And you could see that it's squeezing itself. You can see that this sideways movement is coming to a close because this longer term, even though it's a 5-minute chart, this longer term trend is catching up to it. So what I ask before you move on to the next video is that you take some time and try and identify market sentiment on a weekly, on a daily, on a 4-hour. If you want to try it on a 5-minute, by all means, you'll probably get more movements, so it'll be easier to identify. But try it on the higher time frames first. And with that, once you understand a bit of market sentiment, move on next. I believe the next video is support and resistance on higher time frames. So that'll be a good transition into understanding basic support and resistance. Until next time.